Okay, I think we're live. Jackie usually pings me and says, I can't hear you or I can't see you. So if I don't hear from her, that means we're in good shape.
Woohoo.
Hi, everybody. Happy Thursday. It's my favorite day of the week. It is Why Am I Yelling Live Day. I am Krista, your host. And today we are talking to the awesome Patricia Ribeiro Wolfson, who is a life coach and entrepreneur and the creator of something called Camp Mom, which I'm going to let her explain during our conversation. Trish has a background in TV. Her passion lies in teaching moms to stop feeling guilty, pursue their passions, and be true to themselves while raising their families. She is also a boy mom. She's got 3 of them, one more than me, which means I bow down to her. And so today we're talking about how to integrate your business with your family life as a busy mom, a busy entrepreneur, and I call us the jack of all trades, right? We do a little bit of everything. So I would like to say thank you for being here. I'm so excited. This is our 3rd conversation this week on video, so I feel like if I don't see you tomorrow, I'm going to be upset. So thanks for being here.
It's so my pleasure. It's so true. I'm going to be feeling like withdrawal from Krista by tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me to be on the show. It is really my pleasure to be here. I'm so excited. And Louise is watching us.
Louise is on. Hi, Louise. I'm actually reading the comments right now as I'm like, oh, there's somebody on and talking to us. So tell me how you started this journey, because I'm always interested in, I'm going to go back for a minute because I love doing this show because I've decided to do it, because I, in real life, want to be a talk show host, or used to want to be a talk show host. I don't think I want to do that anymore. But it's an opportunity for me to meet amazing people like you who are doing wonderful things in the world. We're going to talk about Camp Mom. We're going to talk about Jumpstart for Change. And it helps me to see what your journey is like, because we all have a different path and we all have a different journey, and everyone's struggle is different, but there's a lot of similarities in all of it. So tell me how you started and where you are and where you want to go with it.
Okay. I'll start from the beginning. So, as you had mentioned, my background is in television, and my whole life I just wanted to do TV and be on television. My degree is in radio and television arts, and I did a show in Canada called Uh-Oh, which was a kids game show. Yeah, it's pretty. It was so much fun. It was seriously the highlight of my career. Well, that and being on Saturday Night Live, they're kind of neck and neck.
Because that is like the best thing on the planet.
Yeah. YTV was huge for me because as a kid, I dreamt of being on, like, and YTV is the Canadian version of Nickelodeon.
Okay.
And Uh-Oh was kind of a blend between, I think it was Double Dare 2000 and Slime Time. Like, if you put those 2 shows together, you'd kind of get an idea of what Uh-Oh was about, but it was like a whole other, it was a whole other level. But anyway, so I pursued this career in television, and I reached like a really happy point in my career. And then I was offered this opportunity to come to New York to do musical comedy theater. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I haven't ventured into that yet. So I showed up in New York. And, that career, I did all sorts of stuff here, like I said, including SNL, and I was on Guiding Light.
I love the Guiding Light. In fact, my friend lives in the same town as Kim Zimmer. I've met her on several occasions. I love the Guiding Light.
That's so funny. Well, I had this, dream I wanted to do a soap, and I wanted to be on NBC, and I wanted to be on YTV. So like I achieved all those dreams that I put out there. Not that I'm done in the TV dreaming world, but what happened and what happens to all of us naturally as you evolve and grow and then, meet the man of your dreams. We got married and then decided to have children. And it was really hard. Not that it's impossible. Lots of people do it, but it was hard to audition, because then we moved to Long Island and I was like, okay, you get a call from an agent. Hi, can you be like in the, go to your audition at 2:00? And it was like 1. I'm like, well, I have an hour and a half to drive. And I have 3 kids, so I got to find somebody that can stay with them like in the next 30 seconds.
Right. So
no. So I was like, okay, I can take a break from this. But and I really embraced motherhood, and it was something I always wanted. It was also one of those dreams I had. Like, I just wanted to be a mom.
Right.
So for I'd say the first two, and then even when I had my third, I was like, okay, I'm in it to win it and be like superstar mom. And then I was like, I need to do something else. I need to like get back in touch with myself. And as you know, and I know that as moms, you get really lost in, diapers and spit up. And
it's easy to do.
Yeah. And so I got to that point where I was like, I just want to start planting seeds for when the kids are older. And so I started thinking, which seeds do I want to plant? And life coaching came up for me because when I used to audition, and you may or may not know this, or the audience may or may not know, but when you're waiting either as an extra, like, so you're behind the scenes, you do a lot of waiting. When I used to do SNL, you would literally wait for, 18 hours out of the day, practically. It felt like we'd get there at noon. The show was at 1 a.m.
Yeah.
You did a lot of waiting.
All day.
And so in the time that I would spend waiting, I would get to know people and I would talk to them. And actors are always faced with rejection. So they always need some motivation. They always need some encouragement. And it was something I truly loved doing. And I talked to them like, why are you doing this? Oh, I don't know. I stink. And I'm like, until you find that gig, and I started doing this whole thing. So when I started thinking about what do I want to do, and I was like, I want to do something like that. And I always wanted to help women. And then becoming a mom, I was like, I want to help moms because I feel that it's twofold. One, I can relate, and I'm a mom. Right. So clearly that was part of it. But also, if you help the moms, who I feel are like the energetic center of the universe at home, right? That all things come from mom. If she's in a bad mood, everybody's going to be in a bad mood. If she's in a good mood, chances are everyone else will probably be happier. And I thought, if I help mom, I help the kids, I help the spouse, I help all the people who come in contact with this mom. And I thought, and I could potentially help future generations. Like, I'm thinking big here, right?
Yeah. This goes way beyond just the mom.
Yeah, it's like, you got to help mom, but she's creating, we are all as moms, but contributing, members of the future, to the world. So we gotta try to, do it in a good and peaceful, loving way as much as possible. That's another conversation. Right. So that's kind of how I got into it. So I decided I'll take my life coaching certification and see where it goes. Right. So I really started doing my business about 2 years ago.
Awesome. Me too.
Yeah.
And then, it's always funny to me because, there's so many other mothers out there who are trying to find their niche and not have to go back to, a regular corporate 9-to-5 job so we can, be home with our families. And my hair's doing crazy things today. Sorry, it's making me nuts.
Looks good.
Oh, thanks. And, I love people like you because you're focusing on mothers and empowerment comes up for me and all that kind of stuff. And I talk about it through my coaching too, but I don't focus, solely on the moms. I focus on parents and I focus on relationships between like the co-parents and stuff. So, what has been the most, valuable thing that you've learned just helping these women find their passion and integrate it all and make it work for them?
One of the that's a great question. What's the most valuable thing I've learned? Very nice question. So, I would say one of the things that I've learned is, moms are really super hard on themselves, in a way that I thought I knew. And it's so much worse than I thought. It's so much worse. Like, they really just, don't give themselves permission to do things for themselves. And that's been the biggest eye opener. They're just like, well, and even in some cases, those of us who are mom entrepreneurs, there is a connection there that we're doing it for our kids. We're doing it to be home.
Right.
You know, we're doing it to have that freedom and flexibility to be able to be part of their lives. So not that that's a bad thing. Clearly, that's the reason that I got into it too.
Yeah.
But it is so connected. And the other most like valuable thing is that the support system is the only way that moms can achieve anything. And this is not to say moms can't do things on their own. Moms shouldn't do things on their own because you need the support. Moms for generations, for centuries have been doing it with help. You know, there was a village. There was at one point an entire village where you would have your baby and everybody would take care of it. Like everybody pitched in. And now all of a sudden, as we've become more independent, you know, and achieved all these amazing things, which is fantastic, we've also become more isolated. So it's like, I can have a job. I can have kids. Yes, you can do all of it, but you still need help. And needing help and admitting that you need help doesn't mean that you're not qualified to be a mother or to be a business owner or whatever. Yeah. And that's the biggest thing, is being able to say, hey, you know, I'm confident enough in who I am and that I'm a kick-ass mother to ask somebody for help. Yeah. You know?
I love that because I talk about it all the time. And I wrote a piece on it for the Huffington Post a while ago. And the title of my article is, "The only way we're going to have it all is if we ask for help." Yes. Because it's true. And it does take us a long time to figure that out because, I don't know, you know, you and I were talking about it yesterday. We as women tend to carry the weight of the world on our shoulders. And we, for some reason, carry the burden of our families, and all the stuff just piles up and piles up. And if you're smart enough to have the intuition or the foresight to know that you should feel empowered and strong enough, because asking for help is a strength and not a weakness in my mind. And so when you feel that and you know that you can do it successfully, then awesome. It took me, I mean, I literally had to fall down on the floor crying and be like, somebody has to help me. And Will looked at me and he was like, well, then why the hell didn't you just say something? Like,
it's so true.
That was really our conversation. He was like, well, then what? Just tell me what you need, because I'm a guy and I don't have the intuition thing that you have. And I cannot foresee the future the way that you can. Just tell me, make me a list. I'm happy to help. Like, because like you said, if we're not happy, nobody's happy. And that's pretty much 100% accurate statement. I mean, when I'm in a mood, everybody watch out, and they know. So like, get out. I love it. I love that tip. I love that idea. I love that you are empowering women and you are telling them. The permission word is so important, I think. Right?
Yes, totally. And that's actually, you know, an extension of that was where the idea of Camp Mom came from, which was like, once you become a mom, and you could be the most fun person that ever lived. You could be like the life of the party. You could be this amazing, like vibrant, charismatic woman. And once you have kids, not that she goes away, but then you get this layer of, well, now this is business. Now I have children to raise. Yep. And you lose a little bit of that. And it's not that it's lost. It gets covered in concern, worry, anxiety, and wanting to set an example. Yeah. So you may or may not be as silly with them, because you don't want like a fight with silly string to then come into your living room, because then you got to clean that up, you know, or you don't want to have like a pudding eating contest, because then you know you're going to have to clean that up, and they might do that when you're not watching, and then it's a mess, right? So you're always, you know, thinking you're limiting your fun to a certain extent because of that example that you're setting. So I worked at a summer camp, and I live in Long Island. So I worked at a summer camp last year, and summer camps are all the rage here in Long Island. For anybody who's watching that's not from
all the rage in New York City, all the rage.
It's all the rage. And I had never been to camp. I'm Portuguese. I grew up in Toronto in a Portuguese neighborhood. We went to Portugal. We didn't go to camp.
You know, that sounds much better.
Well, it was awesome, but it's like me and all my, you know, Portuguese, Italian friends, like all our, you know, we all went back to the home country, to everybody's home country, right? Yeah. You didn't go to camp, you know? So I moved here and everybody's like all about camp. And I'm like, what is this camp thing everyone keeps talking about? So I got this job. Once all my kids were at the camp, I became friendly with the camp people, and they were like, why don't you come work for us? And I worked there for a summer, and I'm watching these kids on all these amazing activities. Now, this camp that I work at called Driftwood, is enormous, and it is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. They have like trapeze and zip line and bungee, and they have like ATVs. They have any sports you could possibly imagine: lacrosse, soccer, baseball, hockey. I mean, it's
amazing.
It's this like wonderland. It really is, and it's said like that it's more amazing than Disney, for like that type of like it's amazing. Okay, so I go there and I'm like, wait a second. And now because I'm working there, I'm not going on the stuff. I actually was doing my job there was TV. I actually built a TV studio so they could have their own TV studio to create stuff. So that was my job because that's my background. Loved it. But I'm in the TV studio, which is awesome because it's air conditioned. So in the hot days, it was awesome.
Yes.
But I'm like looking out and I'm like, I want to try that. I want to do this.
Yeah.
I started thinking, if I want to do it, other moms want to do it. And so I went to the owner and I was like, what do you think if we had one day for moms to come in and do like the camp stuff?
Yeah.
And he loved it. So we did, we had the zip line, we had the trapeze, we had the giant swing, which is like this humongous thing, crazy. It was awesome.
I'm biting my tongue right now because I have my dream is to be on a trapeze.
Well, your dream will come true this year.
I cannot wait until July.
And we also had like workshops, we also, sorry, of course my phone's ringing. That's okay. Thank you, honey. So we had workshops, like a parenting workshop. Another one was mindfulness and mindfulness and like being present, and stress relief.
Yep.
And what else did we do? Phone's going crazy today. And we also did arts and crafts. So it was really like from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. we had this like amazing day of camp. And it was a way for these women to just like be kids again. Like no kids, no husbands, no anything. Let's just be kids. Let's just do what's fun. And it was literally transformational. I saw these women kind of like a little trepidatious at the beginning, like what's this whole thing about? But I gave everybody t-shirts. They all started cutting up their t-shirts and like,
that's awesome.
This year I might have like a bedazzle station or something so that
I want to bedazzle my teacher. What?
So we can do that first. Yes, because like everybody wanted to do it. Like I had my shirt bedazzled before the event, and then everybody was like putting them on, cutting them up. They were in it to win it. It was like amazing.
I love this. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. So I know you don't have the date set yet. It's tentative.
Yes, well, tentative. It's that date I gave you yesterday, which I'm pretty sure will be, which is the last weekend in July, the Saturday.
Okay. Because I can already tell you that I know like a lot of moms who would totally be interested in this. And I'm going to be there. So it is what it is. But I think it's great. I think that idea, somebody needs to create this. Like you created this. You need to make this like a global, like we need to like go to camps all over the country and do like a Saturday, like Camp Mom Day or whatever.
Yes.
Look, I just found a job for us to do. Because I love it. I love the idea of just cutting loose, even if it's for 8 hours.
Yes.
Like you don't have the baggage and you don't have the kids hanging off you and you don't have to listen to mom. And you know what? You
can have a meal without people stealing from your plates or sitting on your lap while you eat.
Lunch. Right. They're like the whole thing just sounds like a lot of fun. And I think you're right. Because I'm not going to lie, I have been known to dance on a table or two in my day, or a bar or two in my day. But once you do become a parent, it's like there's just a little bit of a filter. And sometimes the filter is not there, but most of the time, like the filter comes up and you think before you leap. And it's something that we teach our kids, right? Think before you act and pay attention and do all that stuff. But I think we tend to, like I, for one, will not allow Play-Doh in my house because I can't stand it and I don't like to pick it up and I don't. So I hear you. It's like, you're not definitely not doing that. No.
Yeah.
But you could go to camp and do it. Happy to have that happen. So yeah, so I love it. I love the whole premise and I love the whole idea and I love how it's promoted. And I think that, anytime any like moms can get together, even if it's a girls' night out or whatever, just to have like the time to be together and not have to have the parent hat on, because that is a really important thing. And I think, my mom's really didn't do it. Like she did it every once in a while. Like I don't ever recall her like going out, or she never like left us. Like there was never an overnight or a day away from us or any of that stuff. And I feel like sometimes the generations that came before us, they missed out on it. They missed out on a little bit of it. And I think that's why we might be where we are now with the frustration and the this and the that, because we all feel like we have to be like the perfect mom from like the 50s and the 60s and like at home every day making dinner. And, now we're all working full-time jobs and we still have to do all of those things that our moms did.
Yes, that's exactly it. It's like we're trying to be that 50s and 60s, picture perfect, like June Cleaver, right? Yeah. And at the same time, we're trying to be, the evolved woman with an amazing career, both of which are possible, not exactly together and at the same time. It's just not possible to be all things all the time. It's just not. You need to enlist help.
Right.
Exactly.
Yes, I agree. I love it. I love this message. Mothers out there, if you're listening to us, take this message to heart. Use it. And if you need help, look, the two of us are here and we're crazy.
Yeah,
so,
totally.
We'll help you through whatever you need us to help you through. Okay, so I know that you have some stuff that you are offering to our viewers today.
Yes. Yes, I believe I do. I have. So, aside from, in the evolution of my coaching and I help moms, and one of the things that I do have is my own Facebook group, which is the Happy Mama Community.
Jackie's going to put all this up now.
Awesome. So with the Happy Mama Community, it's just a place for any mom. All moms are welcome. It's a supportive place. We just hang out, we chat, we give, tips. Experts come in, so that's one of the things that I do. But also because of my own journey in entrepreneurship, I have decided to also have something for the business moms, the entrepreneur moms. And so myself and my business bestie, Danny Kenny, we have this program called the Successful Mama Mastermind. And we just launched it. And what it is about, because with entrepreneurship, and I know you can relate to this, when you're in it, and especially when you're in the online community, you're getting all sorts of advice from people, how much to be visible, how to be, how you have to be consistent, how you have to be, how you have to be all these things. But as a mom, it is really difficult to be present in like 3 to 5 groups a day and add 3 to 5 posts of value and make sure you're communicating with people. And I didn't find that there were any programs that really helped specifically the mom entrepreneur. Like, how do you launch your business while raising your family and integrate the two, like work your family into your business plan? And so that's what Danny and I came up with. And she's like the strategy, like she's a business strategist. She's like I call her the business strategist extraordinaire, because she's just got that, she's someone who is very organized, schedules herself, really gets things done and takes the steps, the action steps she needs to move her business forward. And then tells me what to do, because I'm more of the mindset piece. So, which is really important. You can have the action steps, but then do all the right things and yet something's missing. And often that's connected to, what we think is possible, how we feel about ourselves, our self-worth, looking at things as challenges. And what I do best is taking what's a challenge and embracing it as actually a benefit, and how you can take advantage of this challenge or obstacle. And, because I don't see things as limitations.
Right.
I see things as, like when you give kids rules, right? You give kids rules so that they can flourish within within some boundaries, because otherwise they're just going crazy and they're not really growing. So you say, okay, you can do this from this time to this time, and you allow them to have that creativity and blossom within those boundaries. And that, I find, helps them think out of the box. How can I take advantage of this time? How can I take advantage of this situation? I always use the joke, like if you're a comedian and you go on stage and you're used to using a lot of filthy words, right? But then you go someplace and you go to a school and you have to do a presentation and you're not allowed to swear. Suddenly your jokes have to become a little bit more creative. Suddenly you have to touch a different place. It stretches you because you have that limitation. So anyway, that's what I like to do. So when moms say, I don't have time because I have this and this and this, well, how can we use that to your advantage?
Right.
So, I do have a free webinar that people can watch. And I don't know if I think I gave her the webinar.
I think so.
I think she has it.
Put all of it up there.
The link for the webinar. So you can watch, and the webinar is 4 simple steps to freedom. And it really just talks about how, as a mom entrepreneur, you can add that, you can start applying those steps right away to open yourself up to really, moving forward in your business without the guilt, because that guilt just kills us.
It does. Yes. I mean, weighs you down, and it can be debilitating sometimes, I think. So I love it. I love that you're sharing these tools with us. I appreciate that you are doing that. This has been a really good conversation.
Yes.
I think.
As always.
It always is. So I would like to say thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing with us. Thank you for, thank you for Camp Mom. I cannot, I'm gonna have a countdown on my phone to when I get to go be on a trapeze.
Yes.
Of the day. Okay, so everybody say thanks to Trish for being here. If you want to find her, join the Happy Mama community on Facebook. I'm in it. It's super fun. And there's lots of really good stuff in there. We all share a lot of information, a lot of tips, a lot of whatever. It's a little bit like Why Am I Yelling, but there's a little bit more mom entrepreneur stuff going on in there too. Very just welcoming and warm and comfortable to be in there. And I certainly enjoy being in there. So I think a lot of our viewers would too. And that's it. That's all for today. Our half hour is up. That we went so fast.
It's
so we'll see you guys back here next week. Dana Burnworth is going to be our guest next week. And Dana is somebody I met also through the wonderful world of social media. She is a coach, a writer. She's about to produce her own TV show. She's got a lot of stuff going on, and she is also my writing mentor. So I cannot wait to get her on here so she can kick my ass on live TV about why I haven't finished my book yet. That'll be fun. Okay. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks, Trish, for being here. And we will see you guys back here next week. Now I have to figure out how to turn this off. Okay. Bye, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Bye. Thank you.